Yo, what up, y'all? Today we're jumping into some more Diablo 4. In this one, I'm going to show you guys a real easy way to get more Duriel mats. I'm going to show you guys how you want to farm AoZ. And we're going to go over the super uniques, how to get those, which characters drop the certain ones and whatnot. Now, the first method obviously is just doing the Tree of Whispers, which I'm sure is everybody's favorite thing to do for mats. Now, as you can see here, when you open up the Tree of Whispers at the Tree of Whispers, you probably get like 1 to 3 mats total. But what I've noticed is if you take those caches that it drops and actually go and open them up in a town, I've seen it drop up to like, 5 or 6 mats at one time. So I would definitely say don't open up the cache here at the Tree of Whispers. Go try to open them up at a town. Now, once you get the materials, of course, you want to take those. Either go to Varshan, go to Grig, they're going to give you the Shards of Agony or the eggs, and then you put the eggs together to pop the Duriel runs. Now, the second method, what I actually typically do, is I just buy the mats. So, if you don't want to run around, do the dungeons, each time you do the dungeons, every 2 that you do is going to give you 1 Tree of Whispers. So having multiple characters, you can run through a bunch of those dungeons without them running out. Now, also what you could do, again, which is what I do, you can go to the trade chat and you can actually find people on there selling the mats. Now, reasonable prices for me would be anywhere between 1 and 3 million per run. Now, to find people selling them for that cheap may be a little bit hard, but trust me, they're out there. So once you do find somebody, add them as a friend, keep them on your list. And then as you're farming the Tree of Whispers, you should be able to get a ton of money. And then you just use that money to buy the mats from that person. Now, once you get the mats from that person, you actually can just resell them. So you buy them for anywhere from like 1 to 3 million per run. And then you just resell them for like 5 to 10 million per run. And then not only are you going to get money to buy more mats, or you could just keep the mats and do Duriel runs. Now, this method completely works for me, like the buying and reselling. I've had over 1,000 runs at one time. I pretty much just do them for free for my clan. But what you can do is either, trade those off, sell them, use them. It's fully up to you. Now, also, too, if you're in the Diablo 4 Discord, you can actually find vendors in there, too, like within the trade chat. Now, it's not very often that they actually post in there because, there's moderators. They'll like kick them out and stuff like that. But if you could find one, or if somebody posts it and you see it before they get kicked out, all you got to do is personal message them on Discord. And then, kind of will and deal with them, see if they'll give you a nice little discount on it. Now, as far as getting the actual super uniques, of course, you got to run Duriel. But there's certain uniques that drop for certain characters. So like for the Shaco, that's going to drop for everybody. The Melted Heart, the Ring of Starless Skies, those are going to drop for everybody. But for like the spears, you want to either be on the Sorcerer or you want to be on the Druid. And then for swords, like your Doombringer, Grandfather, you want to be on the Necro, the Rogue, or the Barb. And actually, for the Grandfather specifically, you want to be on the Barb or the Necro, because the Rogue actually can't even carry a 2-handed sword. So, if you're looking for the spear, but you're playing on Barb, you're never going to find it. Or if you're looking for like a Doombringer or you're playing on Sorcerer, you're never going to find it. So you want to make sure that you're using the correct character for the correct super unique that you're looking for. Now, all of the other uniques, like, the Tybalt's Wall, the unique amulet that does the critical strike over power damage, those are just going to drop on anybody. But for class-specific uniques, like the Shadow Grasp on the Rogue, the Esu's Heirloom on the Sorcerer, you want to make sure that you're playing that specific character or you're actually never going to find it. Now, some super uniques actually don't even drop from Duriel. They're going to drop from like Lord Zir. They're going to drop from Varshan. They're going to drop for Grigori. So what I would do is just Google it, see which super unique that you're looking for and where exactly it drops. And then you'll have to go farm that one thing. So Duriel is not going to drop every super unique or unique that you're looking for. You have to play different characters and certain characters in order to find class specific things. And I didn't know that at first. So I'm literally farming for a Grandfather on a source, just looking silly, wasting my time, but it is what it is. Now, especially for doing Duriel in general. Like once you get enough mats and enough money, it should be really easy for you to just farm him multiple times. What I've also seen too, just from doing so many runs, and I don't know if this is necessarily true. Down in the comments, you guys are gonna have to let me know. The party leader, the person who's the leader of the party and pops the actual Duriel run, I've noticed that they just get way better drops. Like I'm usually always the host doing Duriel runs, and in a stack of 50, which is 25 runs, I'd get like 2 or 3 super uniques, like Grandfather Shaco Doombringer, you know, double Shaco, double Grandfather. I've gotten some crazy drops. Down in the comments, let me know if this, you know, if this has been happening to you. Is it a glitch? Was I just getting lucky? Because what's crazy is, you know, after I found all of the gear that I needed, I found all the super uniques for all the characters, all that fun stuff. Then I started passing it over to, you know, different people in the party who are looking for certain items. I would give them the party leader and then let them hold the mats and pop the run. And then lo and behold, they start getting drops when they haven't gotten a drop in 500 runs, 700 runs. So if you guys are out there, if you're still looking for super uniques, I would definitely try that. Try to be the party leader, try to host it, and try to pop it yourself. Now jumping into AoZ. So AoZ can actually be a little bit tedious, but if you have all the super uniques, if you have a lot of armor, it should make it really easy for you to do. Now, since this video, I did respec my glyphs and all of my gear. Well, not my gear, but my glyphs. And that helped me get up to around about 20k armor without doing any damage. And then, you know, of course, once you start doing damage, you'll get more armor based on the aspect. So yeah, I think like right around about 15 to 20k armor is what you need to survive at level 15 AoZ. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a level 10, how easy that could be with the Barb. And I think personally the Barb and the Sorcerer are probably the 2 easiest characters to do the AoZ with, just with the sheer amount of damage. And then if you have the Spear, the super unique Spear for the Sorc, you'll get the random shrine buff every 30 seconds, which is just absolutely overpowered. Now, what I will say as well too with the Barb, if you want to have a lot of primary resource and do a lot of damage, of course, Hammer of the Ancients, Overpower, that's the way to go. But you want to make sure that you're using that Melted Heart of Selig, as well as the Tybalt's Wall. So with the Tybalt's Wall, each time you go unstoppable, it's going to grant you primary resource. And then with the Melted Heart, instead of you taking damage, it depletes the primary resource. And you know, on Barb, that's basically the whole premise of the Hammer of the Ancients build, is having max primary resource. So if you can link those two together and then also use the Bat Dash, the one that makes you unstoppable, you literally can have max resource basically the entire time. Now on my Paragon board, I used to use about 5 or 6 glyphs. What I did was I actually lowered it down to about 3 glyphs, including the AoZ one. And then I just put all of my points into like the little side glyphs that give you armor, give you life. And that's how I was able to increase my armor up to about 18 to 20k. Since this video, I increased my armor by a lot, and I upgraded this glyph probably another 5 times. So in this video, my glyph is at level 10, but now it's like at level 15. So the easiest way to upgrade the glyph, of course, you're going to have to start from AoZ level 1. Now, if that's a little bit hard for you, or you know, if you're dying or taking a lot of damage, I would just farm that level 1 over and over again until you upgrade it. Once you upgrade it, then you should be able to increase the level. And then you'll just keep doing that until you can eventually get to level 10. Once you get to level 10, you could just farm that over and over again. And then you'll just get a bunch of XP. You'll easily be able to get all your glyphs level 21, no problem. And then you'll easily be able to level up the glyph at least to like level 10, 15, just from doing the level 10 AoZs. Now on the skill tree, with this, you know, once you get the Shaco, you're going to get +4 to everything, which pretty much just make you extremely overpowered. But I would try to go with all the damage reduction, everything for maximum fury. And then if you can get anything for primary resource, that's pretty much the main thing that you want on Barb. Because again, with using the Melted Heart of Selig mixed with the Tybalt's Wall, you're pretty much always going to be unstoppable each time you evade. And then every time you evade, you're going to get primary resource. It makes it pretty impossible to die, to be honest. For the powers, we're going to be rocking the brace, which is fortifying critical strike chance. Then we're going to use the evade to become unstoppable, which is just going to give you way more primary resource over and over and over again. And then the cool thing about this too, you're pretty much going to have the shouts, which is going to give you resource, give you damage. You'll be able to run through and kill. And then if your shouts are down, you can just evade, which is also going to give you way more primary resource, help you become unstoppable. And then, you know, with the Tybolt's wall, you're going to be doing another 40% increased damage while you're unstoppable. Everything else is pretty much just added. You know, you can go with attack speed. You can go with the overpower balls. I personally like this setup with the powers because it makes it really easy for me to run through it. At this point now, I'm able to do like level 15s. So, you know, I think this build mixed with just farming the AoZ at level 10, you can easily get up to like a level 20 or level 25, but it just takes a whole lot of grinding. I haven't played it that many times. Well, I haven't grinded it for that long, I should say. But you know, if you grind it from now to the end of the season, I'm very certain that you can get the glyph up to level 25 just by doing that. Now, of course, before you go into AoZ, you want to make sure that you're using elixirs and also popping yourself a chorus of war. You go and craft that at the potion lady. As far as elixirs, it's kind of up to you. You know, you can go max life, you can go critical strike damage, you can go magical resistance. But as long as you have this incense, the chorus of war, that's going to increase all the stats by 40. And then it's going to give you overpowered damage as well. So that's definitely a really, really good one to use. You also could use others too, like especially if you don't have this one, you could use the one that just gives you additional resistance. You know, you could use the one that gives you more life. It's fully up to you. But I personally think the chorus of war mixed with like resistances or mixed with like critical strike damage should definitely help you kill everything in the AoZ. To be honest, the only thing that's really going to be a problem is going to be the blood seekers. Like these guys are extremely overpowered, extremely tanky. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pop a level 10 and I'll show you guys exactly the strategy that you want to use in order to pretty much get through the level 10. So first off, of course, you know, you want to pop your elixirs, make sure you have those set. Now the strategy that I use, I pretty much just run through and kill all the little things. So I'm going to speed this part up just for the sake of time. But you don't want to waste your time trying to kill the elites, especially when there's like the purple damage resistance, enemies next to them, you know, especially when they're in packs of elites. This is the way that you die. You know, so I would run through, murder all the little things, and then it should make it really easy for you to get to the blood seekers. Now, what I would also suggest too, because there's going to be, I would say maybe like 3 shrine buffs between now and the time that you pop the blood seekers, just don't pick them up. So then whenever you do fight the blood seekers, you can actually just get the bar all the way to where it's about to be complete, run back to one of the shrine buffs, kill the last enemy, the blood seekers spawn on you, and then you just pick up the shrine buff and then kill them with that. Now it does take a little bit of RNG on the shrine buffs because, you know, you could get like a lethal one, which is pretty good. You can get the blast wave one, which really isn't that good, honestly, because you have to be right up on them in order to do that damage. The best ones that you're going to be looking for is the conduit shrine where you turn into the ball and you're the ball of electricity. That one is really good because you don't take damage. The protection shrine is really good, of course, because you don't take damage. And then the artillery shrine is really good because you can absolutely just melt them. Now, like let's say you had a protection shrine, a lethal shrine, and an artillery, you know, up into the blood seekers, it would be no problem for you to kill them easily. Now, for me, I didn't get that good of RNG on this run. I think I got the protection, the blast wave, and the lethal, which honestly are pretty good. But once you get to the end here, you're going to see how OP the blood seekers are. So that's why having the melted heart of Selig is really important for this. You got to have at least the melted heart and the Shaco, and then you need to make sure you maintain your primary resource in order to get through these. But once you have that down, and then at least 10k armor, this should be a literal cakewalk, especially on Barb. Down in the comments, let me know who you guys are using for the AoZ. Again, I personally like the Barb. I think is really, really easy to do this. And then also the Sorcerer, because with that spear, you get the random shrine buffs. So, you know, if you have a random shrine buff mixed with 2 or 3 other ones fighting the Bloodseeker, there's literally no way you can lose. The only way you can lose is if they just flat out kill you. But again, if you just maintain that primary resource, as you can see, they don't do much damage at all. Now, again, you're not going to do much damage to them either, which I actually, again, since the recording of this video, I do far more damage than this, only because I upgraded the glyph probably like a good 3 or 4 more times. But even still, like level 10 glyph, shrine buffs, and all the overpowered damage, these guys still take a whole lot of damage. So I definitely would go out, make sure you guys, again, buy and resell the Duriel mats. That's the easiest way to get them. And then just farm up your money and buy a bunch of them at one time. And then once you get the Duriel mats, you know, of course, either you can go to Discord and find people looking for group, you know, 5 times rotations, 10 times rotations, 2 times, however many you have. That'll be the easiest way for you to maximize your runs. Like when I first started, I pretty much was grinding all of the Trio Whispers. I was getting like 2-3 runs, and then I would pop it like by myself or like with a friend. But the super uniques, they have such a low drop rate that it's going to be in your best benefit to match other people. So you running it by yourself, you're just not getting that many runs. You know what I mean? So try to match people. You know, if you have 10 runs, try to find a couple others, 3 others with 10 runs. And then, you know, you guys do them in rotation. So in that way, instead of you only getting those 10 runs, you're actually getting 40 runs. You see what I'm saying? So that'll be the easiest way for you guys to get all of the gear. You know, at this point, I have like 19 Shakos, 6 Grandfathers, like 3 or 4 Doombringers, 2 or 3 Spears. I have multiples of everything just from doing this strategy. And then, of course, I'm sure next season you'll be able to do the same thing. There's going to be more people grinding, more people selling mats. And then all you got to do is find people, you know, try to get them to get you a deal. Try to get them for 1 to 3 million per run, and then just resell them for like 5 to 10 million per run. In about a week, I'm sure you'll probably be able to get at least 100 Duriel runs just based on like how often you play. So now again, look at the Bloodseeker. Like, they just take so much damage. So it's definitely very, very important that you have super uniques, like if you're trying to do this, because if not, you're just gonna get absolutely melted, or you're just flat out never gonna kill them. Like, they just take way too much damage. I literally had 3 shrine buffs, and you know, it still took that long to kill them. But again, as long as you have that melted heart, as long as you have that Tybalt's wall, and then as long as you're becoming unstoppable, you're chilling. And then as you can see, you get 11,000 each time you beat it on the tier 10. So you can definitely easily, you know, do that 3-4 times per level. You know, 5-6 times. And then once you upgrade your AoZ glyph to level 10 at least, you can one-shot anything in the game. Lilith gets one-shotted, Duriel gets one-shotted, tier 100 dungeons, anything, you name it. The Barb literally one-shots everything in the game with Overpower Hammer of the Ancients. So I definitely think this is one of the strongest builds in the game, hands down. I've literally upgraded every single character this season. I got all the super uniques for each character. I've equipped them. I've tried them. I've done it in PvP. You know, done it against Duriel, Lilith. And I'm going to tell you right now, the Barb is easily, hands down, the strongest in my opinion. Again, down in the comments, let me know what characters you guys use. How far you guys have made it in the AoZ. Again, I'm up to about level 15 now, I believe. So I'm going to have to get in there, try to grind up to level 25, and, you know, go from there. Now, one last thing, if you guys still aren't in a clan, or you're looking for people, you know, to grind rotations, people that have mats, we still have room in the clan. Right now, our clan has 132 people out of 150. It's called rotation grinding, and that's all everybody does, is they just grind Duriel mats. Now, me, as you see, I have probably another like 200-300 runs, so I actually just run them completely for free. So if you guys aren't in a clan, you want to find some people to grind Duriel mats, you need some people that's online, definitely join up on rotation grinding. You know, we're almost full, but anybody in the clan definitely will help you out. You know, if you have mats, great. If not, there's people that run free runs all day, every day. So hopefully this video helps you guys out. As always, I appreciate you guys checking it out, and I'll see you on that next one. Peace.
Enough fury.